I don't know if we can finish this tonight unless I put the pedal to the metal and hack a little squid. I'm in the driver's seat and I'm behind the wheel. It's brick by brick. I appreciate that he's slowly but surely forming a battle plan. How did you not notice it with Liz? Like, how do you not notice that the tree is wearing clothes? That's no moon. It's a dinosaur. Yeah, so Reed X Rosa is canon even. It's a canon event. What? What? Say what? Reed and Rosa. Reed and Rosa. Couldn't see you. Busy sticking my head in a bowl of salad. You know, like, as someone who has used vending machines a lot, like, doing this every day, especially if you're already ordering food from a fast food stand on the way to school, like, man, it's throwing money around. I don't spend money on a lot of stuff, but even I'm like, I'm starting to feel the ache in my wallet of Inko's spending habits. Damien, put some potato chips on that meat and get that crunch. Also, if Inko is rich, he'd probably be interested in synthetic meat since, you know, rich people love that stuff. Mia and Trish, could you stop it, please? I don't... The little man is having a... is doing a dance. Probably going like... He's not doing the floss. Please, calm down. So, do you buy these for your kids, or is it like they have to decide for themselves if they want to do this, right? Does the school provide one? Honestly, if I am doing a mashup, I do intend to, like, address the elephant in the room of, like, hey, a lot of stuff is school, internet integrated. Here's your school phone. And Anon's like, I didn't get mine. You sent it to my parents, and they didn't send it to me. And everyone's like, oh. Oh. Oh, you're poor, are you? Sorry, buddy. Here's your lunch card. They had everyone but their besties. Oh. What? Like, I don't know enough about Mia to judge about that, though. So it's more like I want to know why you think that's a good idea. But we'll get there, don't worry. You know what's really weird about Goodbye Volcano High? What the fuck is their tech level? let me try to rephrase that question. Goodbye Volcano High is further than we are with LGBT rights, but also not. Like, they clearly still have Arabia, or the Catholic Church, or something that's fucking shit up, right? But also, like, everyone is walking around with some fancy ass phones. There's something about Volcano High that feels like they're trying to do Earth tech level, but the way there's something that bothers me about it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain. There's just something about the tech level in that world that doesn't work for me. Like, it feels to me, like, under the surface, a lot of smartphones there happened in the last 20 years like it did for us. Mia, what the fuck do you mean, seeing Mia charging on Twitter? Mia is not a phone. What? Unless she's like one of those electromancers. Ugh. Electrokineticists are spooky. I got a D&D game tomorrow, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. I got my little fists up. I'm looking forward to doing Hyperlight Drifter. I might stream that because I think the Hyperlight Drifter RPG deserves a little bit of credit. Sure as fuck ain't 5e. Probably do that on Twitch, though. The place I do that stuff normally. But that'll happen down the line. Hell, like I said, I don't even know what I'm going to do afterwards. Right now, the cost of surviving or whatever the fuck it's called, is my side project. Call Me Fang is on the main thing. I need to rest and recover to actually get to it. Battle Charge? I'll be honest, Dave. I don't know why I thought about phones. Probably because I was thinking about phones. Like, I know there's some animations with her or something, but, like... Poor Lamau Brothers is just getting the spoiler end of the stick. Poor guy. Like, I'm doing my best not to mention spoilers. Outside of speculation, which, again, isn't a spoiler, it's just me thinking out loud. But... I know some stuff, but I'm not going to talk about that, so you can actually kind of tell what I know based on what I'm not speculating about. Although I've been spoiling ending 1. I know nothing about ending 2. Just some details about how it's supposed to fit together. That happened like 3 days ago, Inko. What the fuck? Or 2 days ago? I don't even know anymore. Me as an electric eel. I mean... I guess. Can I charge my phone by befriending her? Can I get a phone charger girlfriend? That's the latest generation, people. Flattery will get you nowhere, Damien. Just saying the honest truth, buddy. Listen to the contest too, right? Everyone's trying to win the cash prize. The money's, okay. Man, I could go for a salad. I might buy some salad tomorrow. Seems like a good idea. Honestly, the idea of her holding a tray of sauce and just dipping her hand is kind of cute. They've mentioned this before, and they're repeating it now. How is she still articulate? Listen, when you were her before, you just kind of learn how to deal with it. Yeah, but you want to be a business person. Wrong scholarship, I imagine. Unless you can do whatever you want, and they're like, Oh, what is it? Here. Just set aside. Ooh. Like, listen. Okay, I'm gonna get angry for a bit. It is super fucking easy to find some artists on Twitter, on DeviantArt, or whatever. You ask them, would you like to draw a painting for this game? This is what we want. We'll pay you X dollars. Like, just do it. I imagine there's people out there who would take that offer if all you do is include like a little link and credit at the bottom. If you want to be a cheap little bastard about it. Like, come on. You can even go, hey, listen, we can't pay you right now, but once the game goes on sale, we'll use X amount up to X amount to pay for your costs. Like, I bitch about this a lot, and the reason I bitch about it is so easy nowadays to find artists who will give you the commercial rights for the work that they made, that you can just slap in your cute little video game. Just do it. It doesn't have to look good. Just do it. You already drew Olivia's piece. Just do it. It's cute for the reader. What does it cost you? A couple $100? That's like, what, a couple of days of your entire team working at most? Probably just one day. Come on. Like, you can't do it for everything, but moments like this. Oh, by the way, that just reminds me. So, remember how I talked in, what was it again? Snoot Game, about distractions, about the idea of having little mini games, little choices, little like distractions from the main experience. All we've had so far is the drawing thing, and that was cute, but a little like undirected, a little loose. Cute, but doesn't fit Inko because he doesn't draw. He's an artist. He takes pictures, so it doesn't fit him as well. I don't know. I saw in the trailer that they did like the phone thing. They're actually doing the phone thing with a phone. I'm kind of looking forward to that. That's probably why I'm complaining about this right now. I want to see the phone. I want to see his phone be spotless. Listen, my phone is spotless, but I care for my phone. That's why. Not a there are a couple of scratches on it, but they're tiny. But that's because I put my phone in a cover, and I'm careful with this fucking thing. Because this thing costs $100 fucking dollars, and it needs to last me a while. Also, it's fancy technology, and it contains a bunch of important information. Be careful with your phone. Again, the thing is, Goodbye Volcano High, it looks utopian. It looks like it's way beyond us. It has way better social systems. You never see homeless people. The streets are clean. Everything is taken care of. Like, they live in a good neighborhood, but it seems to extend to everywhere they go. I imagine Goodbye Volcano High is the kind of world where you get a free phone from your school because so much is done via phones nowadays. Like, you just get one from the government if you don't want to buy your own. I imagine that Goodbye Volcano High has to... listen. I'm smart, right? I know a lot of stuff. I want to talk about this. First, oh, what's this? Okay, yeah, I've actually looked at the Snoot game scripts a bunch, and there's a lot of weird absent stuff in there. Mia and Trish battle charging. Okay, listen, Scary Dave, don't team up with Cloaker on me on this. I don't... Stop. I don't want to right the ship. It's too sexy. Ah! Anyway, Goodbye Volcano High is a very utopian setting, etc., etc. What was I going towards? They get phones for free because I imagine that their society is moving to the point where they like to get one. I also, because of how populations work, if Volcano High is a world where Pangea is effectively one massive first world country, by some weird miracle, it's turned into a big first world country because it doesn't sound like there are wars in areas, so I imagine economic development is more... It's one government, so I highly doubt there are massive slums. Well, probably slums, but not massive ones like we have in our world where third world countries exist. Maybe a third world county or two. I imagine that because of that, population growth is tapered off or declining. Because that's what happens in first world countries. People stop having kids because why have a fucking kid when you can live your life, baby? So I imagine that in Goodbye Volcano High, you get paid to have a kid, to adopt a kid. You get to get a bunch of free money. Listen, our population is declining. Please have children. Just like in Japan. They'll pay for that shit. I like that idea. And it's something I'm going to run with in the mashup. Like, hey, Anon, your parents stole all the fucking money that's meant to make you an appealing proposition. What the fuck? How are you poor in a world of rich people? It's impressive. Really? I'm not talking about Snoot Game, because in Snoot Game, Anon being poor and living in the shittiest part of town is very much an important plot point, to the point that it's the reason he doesn't want people coming to his house. I know. Ugh. A thing worth noting, Scary Dave, is that once you get like a very peaceful population, like people aren't going to develop nukes. They're not going to make technology that can blow up. Actually, they should, because it's like the most pressing concern. They shouldn't worry about other people. Yeah, that's my point, Garbs. Like, in my experience, the way it would work is that they tell, hey, have your kids in high school. We'll take them off your hands and hand them to people who know how to fucking raise a kid for you. As if, you know, pregnancy and laying eggs isn't a problem. Actually, laying eggs is probably very painless compared to pregnancy. Pregnancy and giving birth are fucking painful. Pushing a small human out of your body is, Evolution fucked women very hard, without asking. Ooh, spicy. I imagine eggs are way easier to deal with. Like, they'll just take those eggs off your hand. They'll give you a bunch of money and say, hey, listen, thanks for having a child. You don't want it? Good. We'll buy your child off of you and hand it off to someone else, so that we can keep the population from shitting itself into the ground. Because no one wants to have any fucking kids, because everyone's... If anything, the gay people are like the biggest adopters, and the straight people are just the producers. Is Reed's family at the poverty line? He lives in a pretty plush, like... I mean, his house is pretty small, but he does live in the suburbs, and his house looks in decent condition. He has a van that he owns himself, and maintains himself, and is capable of paying for the repairs for, and it looks in decent shape when he brings it out. Like... Don't know what you're thinking about, man, but he's doing pretty fine, all things considered. I feel that if they wanted to make that point, they could have made him dress up poor. They could have put something in his room. They don't. He owns his own drum set. Like, what the hell? If there's poverty in Goodbye Volcano High, they are doing a shit job. Compared to Anon, who lives in a room that looks like shit and has nothing in it. Hell, even Nasser's car has like a little crack in the window to indicate that even he can't just pay for a new window. Tiny details matter. I think it actually makes his car look poor, but I like the idea of, like, he really wanted a sports car, so he bought a sports car even though it had a crack in the window because it was a way to get it cheaper so they could still get it. I like that. Goodbye Volcano High does none of it. It's too idyllic. Reed future is the poverty line. I imagine mammals on America have it hard in Snoot Game / Wani because they're the new population. I don't know about you, but there's like a massive population of Japanese people in Brazil who had like a massive history search. There's a lot of stuff. Let's not get too deep into this stuff. But suffice to say, as the migrant population, humans would probably have it worse unless they took over the Americas, like the Americans did, compared to the Native Americans, also known as the Indians, a name they have very much reclaimed for themselves, apparently. Yeah, but, like, maybe you just want some scrap on the side, like some extra cash, you know? I think that, like, also, like, the idyllic stuff also is partially because nothing seems to happen. Like, no one seems to give a shit the world is ending. Everyone seems to be okay with what the government is doing and how they're doing it. Like, the way I see it is, like, you can be any job you want. Volcano High World is so fucked by population and this idyllic nature. You can be a delivery person and live a decent life. Like, if not, then where are the poor people? Where are class concerns? They talk about capitalism, but in, like, a really offhand comment. Fang's parents are, like, probably wealthy. So it's even weirder they would complain about capitalism, actually. It's very fucking goofy. Also, the world doesn't get the attention it needs to feel like a place. It feels like a set, you know? It feels like a set, like on Friends. Like, okay, it's New York, but we know nothing about New York from what they're trying to tell us. Snoot, 5-minute carjacking world record in Skid Row. Oh, no. Oh. Where were we? Oh, she's showing off her picture because I wanted to talk about, hey, just buy an artist and give him like $100 and he'll draw something for you. Oh, you have on-staff artists. They can do stuff, right? Unless you're, like, busy until the end day, which is, sorry about that. I mean, I've never managed a project. Maybe if I'll ever manage a project, I'll be like, oh, this is actually way harder than it sounds. Oh, I feel like such a chump now. How does wealth work in a world without... Yeah, like, without colonization. Without colonization, slave trade, and a bunch of other garbage that has to do with old wars, how does wealth work in your world? Like, a lot of humans have to, like... Fucking wealth distribution has so much to do with the industrialization of... Oh, God. Like, I'm not saying that Volcano High has to explain everything. But the least you can do is at least give us the baseline of the contemporary world. You don't have to tell me that the government works like this, just like, hey, everyone lives a decent life, you know? There are poor people right over there. The reason they're bitching about capitalism is that they live under capitalism. It's just a capitalism that's not as bad as ours, or is it worse? Like, this is a fucking thing made by leftists, right? It's made by LGBT people who hate capitalism. Why aren't they talking about economics? Shouldn't, like, they're teens, right? They shouldn't be, but nowadays, a lot of teens are defeated by the economy. They feel like capitalism is going to fuck them over when they get out of school. Like, this should be something. You can't just drop this ball. Like, you don't have to do everything. Just enough that I feel like if I go past that bush in the background that Trish is hiding behind, that I'll find anything. Will I find a hobo? Discarded needles? Someone's old bike that they bought a new one? Instead, it's like, there's nothing. Because they didn't think about any of it. Meanwhile, while playing this game, I can kind of envision what's behind the next street. You know, St. Hammond seems to be a decent school, so odds are the streets are pretty clean, everything's pretty nice, you know. And Inko probably lives in like a really nice suburban neighborhood, hence why he takes the metro. He takes a very long distance to get to school, because the school seems to be more urban. You know, I can imagine what it's like. Meanwhile, Volcano High has so much goddamn land. It is a massive parking lot, a huge sports field, huge separate gymnasium building, and a huge separate library. Like, what the fuck? I still think that the Trico thing of, like, it's called Caldera High because the actual thing is a caldera. Crescent Coast is built on a caldera. And everyone... I don't know, I just think it's funny that some jackass named a school purely to sound smart. I mean, to be honest, if you're good, you can do it. I don't think Olivia wants to see that. She's way more focused on her snacks. Which is interesting, because before it was like, Olivia is paying attention, but now, nope. How the hell is the school being called St. Hammond going to make any... What? How can that even be relevant? It's... Oh, sweet Jesus. What do you mean, how? How are dinos? What does that even mean? There's something about Liz painting her her eyelids with eyeshadow, like her hair. There's something about it, like the coordination with the script, like a little. Like, come on, Liz, let it loose. Your eyebrows, come on. Yeah, fair enough. Like, I like that Snoot Game kind of implies how dinosaurs stuck around by having the term meteor dodgers, which implies that there was a meteor event that historically is significant on some level. That's cute. For Trico, I actually like the idea that like there are multiple societies, civilizations, and everything, and they just rise and fall because at some point some fucking magic user just blows everything up. And they call it Seahead because, let's move. We gotta move. We're doing another stream tomorrow if we don't finish this today. If we don't get to the barbecue scene in like 30 minutes, we are doing this tomorrow. I want to, next Friday, we are doing the new content. Uptight young professional. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not good with people. I love how Damien's like, that's great. No, art is very much a money laundering thing, Liz. Please, don't pretend. Because I want to see what's new. Besides, it's good to refresh oneself. Like, I'm going to be replaying Snoop Game when we get to that. Probably not all on stream and recording, but... Listen, like I said, it doesn't have to be too much. You only need a little bit to make it work. Damien's so cute. He just stole a person's phone without asking. Damien's like Reed. He's just gonna work some random ass job because he can. He likes keeping his options open. I will give him that much, that they did give Reed in Volcano High, like, you really got a sense that he just doesn't fucking care. I'm playing LNL. Although, when you think about it, it gets brought up in Call Me Fang, is that Reed is going to be alone. Sage is going to go to a culinary school, Trish is going to go somewhere, Fang is going to be performing, like, your LNL group is gone when Naomi goes to med school. Reed, like, what the hell are you doing? You gonna play with high schoolers at that point? Or you're gonna go to college, buddy? Go to college, you'll find plenty of LNL players. Like, come on, your senior year, Damien, pick something. Home economics. Perfect husband. Yeah! What? My himbo husbando. My himbo husbando. Please. Please, my himbo husbando. By the way, in God damn it, this comes up a lot. But let me point this out. Because I don't know Spanish. I can't write Spanish text. It's a bit of a thing. I'm not gonna pull it through Google Translate. That'd make me look like a fucking clown. So instead, for the cost of moving on, I just use double brackets to indicate that. Anon's whispering will also be in italics. You know, you can integrate those into a third-person narrator if you're just smart about it. It lets me skip a lot of stuff, and now you can imagine that she's saying something in Spanish. Just have characters mentions that she's saying Spanish and they don't understand what the fuck she's saying, and boom. You don't have to write actual Spanish and look like a fucking moron. If you know Spanish, great, you can actually do it. But I can't, so I have to take the shortcut. Reed will... Oh, no. Aww. Actually, Reed... You want to know why Reed got the bad scores? Because Reed fucking railroads everyone and negates their builds. She's like, no, we're doing this my way. No, I don't care that you build and got all these language. No. Because that's what he does in Volcano High. He's just a jackass. Pre-builds are not, like, his environments, like, what he's trying to do is kind of neat, but he really doesn't care about his players, is my problem. People don't want to pay for that. People want to run through the module. They still want to show off their builds. There's still something they want out of it. What the fuck is this? There's a range with no supervision and a jeep full of guys in fursuit cells and shows up occasionally and act like it's normal. The worst part is they outshoot half the damn range with their dumb masks on. Well, you know, if you got the masks, you learn to shoot better. Also, like, one quick thing worth noting is that most people will not give you shit for running pre-run modules. If you just say I'm running pre-made modules, like they're not going to complain. They know what they're getting into. Expectations are half the battle. The other half is not fucking up, which is funny because I always say ideas are cheap. I love as she slides up. The hat! No! The hat of Werbenjägermanjensen! How dare you? That's a #1 hat, you know. I love that the grave is like the little extra name sign posted on. It's great. That's some good subtle visual humor. Especially because they called it out. That's very subtle. What I would like to point out that, like, it's weird that Ben isn't here. Ben should be here because he's also in the contest. You know, but that's, like, if you want to maximize the impact. I kind of like that it's not him because there's still, like, 3 characters that should care, 1 who doesn't, and that's the point. And then there's Damien, who's just kind of like, hey, I love seeing art, man. It's great. Yeah. I love... listen, I'm really growing on Liz, though. Liz is really growing on me. I just don't know if I can push past the neck, though. I don't know if I can deal with that. Like, big ask. I think I would be willing to try to make it work. Also, if they're like 18 to 19 to 20, they were born in like 2003, 2005, so feel old. Yeah, because Liz is 2 sprites. Olivia is like 3 sprites. Back chair, front chair, Olivia, and then probably faces for all the characters. There's a lot going on sprite-wise to make these things work. I don't know how Renpai does that, actually. I haven't looked into the source code because I'm not trying to spoil myself. But I imagine that there's a lot happening given what the images look like. Why are you so upset about that? Didn't you literally give it to him? No. You can't beat Anon when it comes to feet eating. Man's got it down pat. I just want to know, Liz. Are you grabbing Damien's tail? Are you like Morse codes signing him stuff? Yeah, Olivia's going into her, I don't want to win because everyone thinks I'm sad. Liz wants to win. Please stay out of this. This is like with Donald Duck and Gladstone. It's like you don't want the lucky guy to join up. He's so sad. God, this makes it sound like a scene you have a flashback of, and it's just the most cringy thing ever. And Inko just dies from cringe. Secondhand cringe exposure. Poor guy. Some losers use the teller to take advantage of it. Ooh. And, like, this is with the synthetic meat. It's like, Inko, you're not naive. You're not stupid. You're a goddamn moron. You fucking clown. Everyone get on the train to Clown Town. Oh, God, someone share that fucking Luna Nun pic again. Ugh. It's just such a fun nightmare. I gotta share it with another group, though, because they love this shit. I'm sorry. Listen, until I get paid for this, and I'm professional, and I make big bucks, I'm gonna live my life how I want it. Fast and dangerous, baby. Dude, seriously? Why? So I constantly get reminded of myself, so that I can't separate myself. She really wants the artist to just fucking die. Hey, Olivia, I got a tip for you. If you literally die, it will only make things worse. You want, like, the life of the artist. People will feel extra pity for a dead crippled person. Oh, shit. That's the word you're not supposed to use. A dead invalid person. Is that the word? No. I can't keep up with the language. I said the C word because Como keeps using it, and he has bad legs. But, like, I don't know what the lingo is for these people anymore. How am I supposed to keep up? I don't subscribe to the newspapers. Yeah, Inko, because you literally you reduced Olivia down to her disability, and people don't like that. It's like saying, Inko, everyone thinks you're shades. Like, you don't like that. It's like reducing Damien down to... Actually, you can reduce Damien down to a lot of things, and he'd probably be fine. Yeah, disabled... I don't know. I've heard people say that disabled isn't good, and you're supposed to say something like differently abled, and I don't like it. Inko's the definition of I'm only human. I'm the only human, you mean? There's square brackets in there you missed. I think it's cute though. There is something to be said for having the only human in the room be the most human character or the most like stupid. There's something to it. I like it. But that's what you do when you use anthropomorphic characters as metaphors. I don't know if that's the point. If they're not supposed to be metaphorical, then you shouldn't do that. Well, you can, but it's incidental. I mean, Olivia really wants to stand on her merits instead of on her, what makes her not as person as other person, because it would make her feel less person. You heard about lampshading? Now give it up for I. God damn it, Inko, you fool! Inko, every single scene features you being a clown at least once. Is that what ending 1 and 2 are about? Is that Inko just keeps saying the dumb shit? It's like he never learns to shut up for 5 seconds and think before he talks. Although, I guess that, like, if you're not disabled, if you don't have that problem, it's very easy to take every advantage you can. Especially if you were raised by rich parents who are probably perfectly fine, just doing whatever needs to be done. I love that he brings up the landscape. It's a very good way to, like, immediately show Olivia's point of, like, wanting to be separated from her art. And, like, hey, listen, Olivia, you do have merit. To the point that Inko unknowingly says that your art is fantastic. I like that. It's a really clever little setup. A freshman made that painting. There was a shooting at Snoot Volcano High. Really? I heard that there was like a wedding? Actually, I heard... to be honest, I heard there was this guitar solo. Really? Hey guys, I'm all the way up here. I don't know what happens in some of the endings, excuse me. But like everyone heard like a different ending happened. The quantum ending. I mean, that's the ending to that's the final line to ending 1 Snoot game is like it's better this way. The core of that sentence is that there's a lot to that sentence. It's a nice loaded statement to end your story with. You can have the same statement for 2 games. But again, if they're trying to move away, if Olivia is supposed to be a metaphor for how they want to move away and stand on their merits, they're failing very hard by just doing the same thing twice. Dude, I just said it's the... Hold on, buddies. Hold on to your horses. I'm doing a little dance. I'm getting tired. I still think that calling it the KO-OP ending is just a little tactless. But yes, the final line of ending 1 in Snoot game is also, it's better this way. Again, if they're trying to separate themselves, they're doing a terrible job. If they're not, and... But that's just me and Trico, really. Just file the serial numbers off. I like Saeed, though. I wish I could use him for the amalgam, but that wouldn't work. Because Nasser already fills that role perfectly. Unless I would have refurbished Nasser, but that... At that point, you're erasing like half the character traits he has in Goodbye, you know? I love that Damien is smart enough to be like, hey, that's her name, dingus. And only now he... Oh, you got outsmarted by Damien, Inko. You poor man. Like, Anon... Let me tell you something, Anon. Let me tell you something about disabled people, right? They love using that against you. Like, when a blind person bumps into you and he's like, and you're like, I didn't see you, they'll say, neither did I. And they think it's funny. And odds are you're going to be super embarrassed about it. And they're like, fucking goober, stop taking it so seriously. Because it's a good icebreaker, that's why. I should probably drop the whole comparison thing, because if I just hammer that drum, it's going to wear out too quickly. Impersonating a picture. What's with the look, long neck? Come on, you're not a goblin. They're not Longshanks. I hate the fact that you're joining up with the contest now. I liked you more when you were depressively suicidal. Wow, just falling in with the door, huh? A Randy like Inky. Yeah, like it's a lot. Oh, Damien. Oh, Damien. Listen, I don't know if it's coming, but I would love it if there's a scene where she's like, I don't like that Damien pointed it out because it ruins my mystique. Like, there's a degree of intentionality to it that she doesn't like has ended. Okay, Cloaker, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about, Cloaker? Come on. I put my little hands in my little sides and I'm giving you a little sass. I want to know what you're on about, buddy. I'm very stupid. Just talk to me like him, Damien. And she's gone. Borinko has to clean up. Ooh! Oh my god. Cloaker!